Sonny, Joey, 500. Got some goats in the field. Get ready for a shakedown. Prepare for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepare for it, man. Y'all get it. My QB got swag. My wideout is award winning. This fly was fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown. Here comes Philly Shakedown.
Let's go.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to the Philly Shakedown podcast. Tomorrow is the day where the Eagles are going to become 6-0 in Philadelphia, ready to go. We're going to talk about everything Eagles news and rumors, Cowboys, Eagles tomorrow. My co-host, Philly 500. What's going on, dude?
What is happening, Joey Shakes? What is going down? I got 2 words to say. Fuck Dallas.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. Hate that team.
We're going into a game tomorrow. It's so important for this division and for the Eagles to see to now put everything to rest. Both sides of fan bases have been going back and forth for pretty much the beginning of the season of not facing great teams. Eagles not facing good teams. Cowboys not facing great teams. Sunday, right. What do you think is going to be the main cause of victory for the Eagles this Sunday, and what are you going to be looking at this week?
I think that the inability of the Dallas Cowboys offense to keep up with the Eagles offense is going to be the factor. I think that Dallas is walking into a buzzsaw. I think the Eagles are going to be pumped. The fan base is going to be crazy. It is going to be playoff atmosphere. I see a situation where Dallas gets the ball first possession and there's an instant turnover early in the game. Eagles score. I think the Eagles go up early, and I think it's going to be hard for Cooper Rush to come back from that. I really do.
Yeah, when I think about it, I think it comes down to I don't think the Cowboys have faced an offensive line like this. I don't think they have faced a defensive line like this at all. I think, I'm obviously we complain about Gannon every single week. I think the only reason they lose this game is if they take their foot off the gas too early. I mean, we were saying the same things almost every week about this defense going to every game every single week, and I think that's what's going on. So you look at the matchups here with CeeDee Lamb. Now you look at the injury report as of right now. CeeDee Lamb all of a sudden has this hip injury, which there's a lot of trickery when it comes to these injuries. And just think about last year when we were playing the Jets, when Jalen Hurts was going to play in that Jets game, and then all of a sudden last minute, Gardner Minshew was the starter. Jets weren't prepared. So do you think there's a little bit of trickery with the injury report with Dallas going on this week?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out. The CeeDee Lamb thing, I'm not so sure. I'm sure he's going to play. But the trickery with Dak, there's definitely some things going on there. The question is are they holding Dak back and then going to throw him in at the last second? Is it going to be like the opposite of that Jets game? Or were they just acting like he has a chance and talking about him so we have to worry about both quarterbacks? I definitely think there's got to be some stuff going on,
Yeah. On the Eagles side of things, too. There's 227 in the chat. I want to thank everybody for coming in here as well. Jadis Young, Kyle Taylor.
226 people in the chat, and then one stalker. Joey Shakes has a stalker now. I can't tell you who it is, but maybe it'll be revealed someday. But Joey has a legitimate stalker after him. It's the craziest thing ever.
People love me. I guess that's what it is. There's some weird people out there, but
stalker.
Some stalkerish people. We got Oates, we got J.S. Young, we got Mike Krivek. What's going on, man? We got Marcus Big Mod Tyler. We got Azo. What's going on? Jay Koch. What's going on, guys? I appreciate everybody coming in. We're talking about Eagles, Cowboys. We're talking about everything, plus some Eagles rumors as well, because we're going to go outside of this game and talk about a couple things. Let me catch up to – hold on 1 second. We got a super chat from AO, RGR Philly fan with the super chat. Thank you so much. He says, I hope Eagles D outshines Cowboys D would be such good media Monday.
Yep. Oh, but even if we do that, they'll be like, well, the Dallas defense went up against A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert. The Eagles defense went up against Cooper Rush. So they'll always have a built-in excuse.
I'm not afraid of Trevon Diggs. I'm not afraid of Anthony Brown, even with these cornerbacks. Even like Micah Parsons is going to be probably moving around to check, to kind of see that weak spot with that offensive line. Now, on top of everything else, Andre Dillard is coming back to the active roster, which I'm actually surprised, maybe a little bit.
Really? Like in what way? Like you think they were going to get?
He was just on the practice window, so I thought maybe he wasn't ready this week. I figured maybe it would be another week or something, but maybe he's more healthy than, maybe I just took it differently than not having just him, but Driscoll and obviously Mulata, Avonte Maddox, Jake Elliott coming back this week. That's huge for this team.
I definitely I definitely want to talk to you about Driscoll Dillard situation a little bit later, because I think it's an interesting situation that has emerged, in my opinion.
Yeah, and AO, you talk about the Eagles' defense. I'm telling you, like this, it's going to be one of those games where, like, Gannon's put to the test. I mean, you're in Philadelphia, and this is the biggest, almost one of the biggest games of the year.
I have, and I've been saying this all week. My theory on Jonathan Gannon is that some of the problems that come with the way he does things is when he has too much respect for a quarterback. I think that this week with Cooper Rush playing, I don't think he's going to respect him. And I think that, and I mean that in a great way, meaning that it'll allow him to be more aggressive and take more chances. As where he played Kyler Murray, I think he respects what he can do with his feet. When he plays guys like Mahomes, Herbert, you see how he kind of sits back and let them throw for over 80%. So I feel like if Cooper Rush is playing, I think we're going to see a little more aggressive defense than maybe we saw the last few weeks because of because he doesn't respect them.
And look, I just started like four times. I'm like all over the place today. Seeing the way Cooper Rush has played, and look, I'll be unbiased about it because I think since Cooper Rush has taken over, I feel like Kellen Moore knows how to use Cooper Rush very well. I think the protection has been better for Cooper Rush. Maybe he just knows how to use Cooper Rush a lot better. The run game has been pretty good. Zeke Elliott's getting a lot of those chunk yards for them. Pollard's looking really good in that run game. But we look at, obviously, opponents. We look at top-ranked defenses, offenses that the Cowboys have faced. And when it comes to Cooper Rush being comfortable in the pocket, so far he's been very comfortable in that pocket. Not a guy that's going to run out of the pocket so much and is going to extend plays for 10 minutes, but he will run if he has to and make some plays. But the Eagles have got to be ready. Defensively, they have to be prepared, and they got to get this pressure going. I think that's what's really important.
And they're going to – and I think that you're going to see Dallas try to – when they do throw, I think you're going to see a lot of quick passes, right? A lot of real quick passes like Kyler Murray did, try to get him into rhythm. I think that this is a week that you need to let your corners man up, man for man. I think the Eagles corner defensive back matchup versus the Dallas Cowboys wide receivers is a big advantage for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I think you just let them guys play and then you bring pressure. Because I think I just think about like Jim Johnson. If he was playing Cooper Rush, what he would do? He would be attacking him and bringing him blitzes so many places to confuse him. I think if there's any time to be aggressive on a quarterback, I think it's now. I really do.
Yeah, in a divisional game, come tomorrow. So
yeah, and I'm not saying he has to blitz 50% of time, 60%. I'm just saying give him different looks, confuse him. You know what I mean? And take advantage of those things and take advantage of your secondary. He's not going to beat you with his legs. I don't believe he's going to beat you with his arm. I think that the Eagles can take advantage of that situation if they're just a little more aggressive.
Yeah, I totally agree. We got super chat from Christopher Darker. What's going on, man? The super chat. He says the only way the Eagles lose this game is if they beat themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, here's the way I see this game going, and a lot of the Eagles games have been kind of like this, but despite that, I think that it's just the Eagles are going to come out firing. They're going to be pumped up. And Dallas, if you're Dallas, you just want to get this game into the fourth quarter with a shot to win. I really think that's how Dallas has got to be thinking. Look, get into the fourth quarter, be in one, a one touchdown game at least, and we got a shot. I think that's what Dallas has got to be thinking. But I think the Eagles, I think they're going to, I have a feeling, I just keep picturing in my mind that it's like Dallas first possession. Cooper Rush goes back to throw, and Reddick comes off the edge, strip sack. Graham picks up the ball. Eagles have a first down. They get a quick touchdown out of that, and then it's going to be like they're just going to be firing on all cylinders early. Crowd's going to be going insane, and Dallas is going to be a little shell shocked, and they're not going to know what hit them. And then I think eventually they get back into it. I think it's close in the fourth quarter, and then the Eagles break it open. That's how I see it going.
Yeah, I could agree with that. We got a super chat from AO RGR Philly fan. He says Burns for Dillard and a 2. We're going to talk about some of these players that could be available, and obviously the trade deadline a few weeks away at the end of the trade deadline. So,
you know what? That bye week show. I'm just saying that's a great episode to do preview for the trade deadline. You know.
No, I agree. We heard, obviously, we'll talk about it later, but obviously Carolina, Carolina Panthers they're cleaning house. They're cleaning house right now. So McCaffrey could be available. Burns is probably the biggest name out there. In 53 games, 29.5 sacks, I think like 6-7 forced fumbles. And he's second this year in pressures, second behind Nick Bosa. Yeah. You have the strip sack artist. I cannot talk today. Yeah. Now you're gonna get the pressure artist coming to Philadelphia.
I think that would be a great move, and that has to be a long-term move. I don't know what he's making. I don't know how much it would cost for a year. That's the kind of move you make where you got to keep him around for the future. But the only issue I have is if I'm Carolina, why would I want to trade him at 24 years old? Because even if I have to rebuild, he's still is he not a piece to build on?
By the way these picks are looking right now, between the Eagles are going to have a high, a low draft pick this year, and then obviously that Saints pick isn't looking too great right now. So, I mean, we can't designate too much into that Saints pick because you're not going to get Will Anderson if they're winning more games. That's just the way it's going to go. So I think as of right now, you want to kill two birds with one stone. He's only $4.3 million the rest of this year for this year's contract for Brian Burns. So you want to.
Who do the Saints play tomorrow? Do you know?
I don't know. Chat, let us know. I don't even know.
I'm going to check. Yeah. Because we need them. They play Thursday night versus Arizona in Arizona.
Oh,
I think this next one. So that's a great position. Now, if they could lose again, let me see who they play.
The schedule's
Saints
getting
play
harder.
The Bengals. They play the Bengals at home. So Bengals stink, but the Bengals may be able to win that game. So they got at least a puncher shot.
Yeah.
But then they got to play that week 7. They play Thursday night in Arizona. So I feel good about that. So if they can lose to the Bengals and then the Cardinals, that would take them to 2-5. They're done. You know?
We got a super chat from Bobby Murphy. Thank you for the super chat, man. It says, Dallas sucks, go Birds.
Dallas.
Damn right.
Dude, I'm so hyped. Like, I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight. I've been waiting. This game I've been waiting for like over a year. Because the last year we played Dallas early, they beat the crap out of us. Now, we really didn't have an identity yet and stuff. But then in that second game, right, we held out all our starters. I thought the Cowboy fans would give us enough. It would be like, yeah, you're right. We didn't, we beat your backups. We can't really count that game. But they acted like they went out and won a Super Bowl. So, we haven't really, since we found our identity, we have not really played Dallas. So, I mean, I just can't wait.
The last time they won against the Eagles won against Dallas was what, Ben DiNucci, I think, in 2020.
Yeah,
I think that was the last time.
Ben the mother humping Nucci.
We got Mike Krivek, member for 6 months. Thank you so much, man. The Shake Squad captain tier. He says the Eagles, America's real team.
This is true. I completely agree.
We got.
I don't know, man. I'm getting I'm getting rowdy right now. Like I'm gonna be so amped up for this game tomorrow. Like I just can't wait. Like I want the beat of a lifetime. Now I know it's only October, but can you imagine if we win this game? We're 6-0 on a bye week, and Dallas, we get to watch them cry all week. I mean, it just be great.
I know. We gotta wait till tomorrow night. We have a longer day tomorrow, which kind of sucks, but
I know.
Got a super chat from Shane Goodwin. Thank you so much, man. He says they should keep Dicker for punts instead of Sipos. He averages 46 a punt, and you'll have a backup kicker.
Well, I'm not going to take a roster spot up for a kicker, though.
No.
Is Elliott playing?
Apparently he is, yes. I mean, Dicker's still on the roster, too, I think.
Dicker can be lowered to the practice squad, no?
I think so.
Because I would keep him around. I wouldn't get rid of him right away.
And shout out to Cameron Dicker as well, because I was kind of nervous about him in that Arizona game. He did really well for his first NFL game.
He looks like a young altar boy. That's what he looks like. Look at a little young altar boy.
Yeah.
He's making kicks.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He did a really good job. We got a super chat from Fabio Villacana with the super chat. He says, "You going to the game? I'll be there tomorrow."
I'll be there in spirit. I'll be sitting right next to you.
Those tickets are crazy expensive right now. Those tickets are going to be over $400 a seat, like probably higher than that.
It's going to be nuts. It's going to be like you've got to keep the game in context, right? It's not the most important game ever. It's not November. It's not December. But I can't remember a game in October that was this kind of big of a deal. 4-1 Dallas, 5-0 Eagles on Sunday Night Football in October. And for October games, this is about as big as it gets.
Yeah, and I think and the NFC it makes it more exciting with especially the Giants having a good record. They play the Ravens tomorrow. So that
I would love to say that they're going to lose that game, but every time I said that, they've won.
Yeah,
I mean, I thought they were going to lose Green Bay, but hopefully they lose,
We got a super chat from Super Tony X22X. What's going on, man? With the super chat.
Look at that Batman thumbnail, dude. I saw that one earlier. Yeah. And I was like, that should be a T-shirt.
That's friggin' awesome. He says, my friends in the area that are Cowboys fans are already making excuses that Dak isn't playing and they think they will lose because of it. Shaking my head, laugh out loud.
Yeah. I think even if Dak played, they would still beat Dallas tomorrow. But I think it'd be a lot closer.
And then people tell us, like, if we lose this game, we're gonna make excuses that they didn't, they took their foot off the gas, or maybe they hurt themselves in this game. But let me tell you something: if somebody isn't playing up the standard, we're going to say it. Okay, if there's somebody, we're not going to make that an excuse every time we lose. If someone's playing like crap, I guarantee you we're going to talk about it. That's the way it goes.
When listen, you can tell when a team takes their foot off the gas. We saw it the first 3 weeks. We saw it literally every second half. And then even a little bit in that Jaguars game after we scored. Where we scored like 27 unanswered points or something like that against the Jaguars, and then we did the same thing. We've done it too much, and it is a concern to me. It definitely is.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. We got a super chat from AO RGR, Philly fan with the super chat. Thank you so much. He said, by the way, Philly, love training day, man. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was a great show. It was a great staff, great crew. Everything I could ask for. They gave me my own trailer, and I had free food there all the time. It was always hot and warm. I couldn't ask for more from the crew there.
We got a super chat from Witch King of Agron. What's going on, man? He says, Joey, do you watch Chucky the TV show? I do. It's actually been pretty damn good. I've been enjoying myself watching it, so it has been good.
I've never seen it. I mean, I've seen the Chucky movies, but I've never seen the TV show.
This first season's already out. We're on the second season, so I would definitely watch it.
Was it good? Good?
Really good. Yeah, really good. It's funny. It's like the DeMarcus Lawrence, I thought it was so hilarious the other day. So, like, they're getting so sick of these Jalen Hurts questions, these Eagles questions. DeMarcus Lawrence, says he's got to attack the weak areas to Jalen Hurts. Like, Micah Parsons was saying some good things about the Eagles offense and all that.
What about Micah Parsons today, though?
What did he say today?
Did you see what he said today?
No.
And he said if we stop the run, we win this game. Now, to me, that is a direct shot at Jalen Hurts. He's saying Jalen Hurts can't beat us with his arm. It's a shot. DeMarcus Lawrence, to me, was taking shots. So I hope the Eagles take that personal, dude. I do.
No, I think they are. Like, and obviously they're going to hear about it. And Hurts is going to, man, you do not want to cross paths when a man has to prove himself.
Make him pay, Jalen.
That's all I'm saying, dude.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, this game's gonna be crazy tomorrow.
Torville says Eagles will win this game no matter if Dak or Rush. Dak will be rusty and not be ready for a game like this. Rush hasn't faced a defense like ours, hasn't had the match QB production.
Yeah, I that's my whole thing is like I think it's fair to say the Dallas defense probably the best defense we have faced this year, but this is the best offense that they have faced this year. Dallas gets a lot of pressure with their front four, and the Eagles, the one thing we will, we can worry about a little bit. I know Kelsey's going to play, Dickerson's going to play, and Malata look like they're all going to play, but we know they're banged up. I just hope it's not a case where they're really not healthy, but they're trying to force themselves to go out there and play,
I think, you think part of it's the bye weekend? I don't think any of these guys are 100%. I mean, I think maybe a Maddox. Didn't Maddox twist it? It was just a twisted ankle.
Yeah, I think Maddox is fine, but I think the offensive line, I think they're probably all banged up trying to get through it. And this is a pretty good defensive, it's a pretty good front. So, we've got to get protected. You have to get protection on Hurts. See, what I think is going to happen is I think they're going to at times get pressure. But I think the real backbreaker is going to be the mobility of Hurts. He is going to get out of spots that other people just don't get out of,
Yeah, no, I even while watching the Cowboys so far as well, I think like I said, QB production's been really good, but the Eagles have got to go all in on this defense. They got to get pressure. I think they'll do it. Offensively, they need to stop it. That screen game last week made me really nervous of what they're going to do for 4 more weeks. It was way too much.
Way too much. I mean, they went too well way too often. And I was listening to Sirianni. He was saying, well, it's because they blitz so much. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but there's other things you can do to negate the blitz too, because they kind of started to pick it apart. I don't think the Eagles go that early or that much to it. I really don't. I can't. I just can't wait for this game.
Yeah, the juices are flowing.
I'm like ready, man. Like I want this game so bad. I want to beat this team, dude.
I totally get it, dude. We become 6-0. And I think, look, you got 3 left tackles for Sunday. I mean, you got 3 left tackles for Sunday. Dillard, I don't know how healthy he is, how much, if he's 100%. Driscoll's in there, you know what I mean? So the Eagles brought in more depth just in case. I think it was for Malata, really. I think because Malata, we don't know how really it's his shoulder, the extension, like how long is his body going to be able to take with that shoulder throughout the game. So I think that's another thing they're going to monitor as well. So
when we played Dallas the first game last year, was Malata hurt? Was he out? I can't remember. Because I think there were a couple guys on that line the first Dallas game.
He missed a couple. He missed like 2. He missed a couple games last year.
Yeah,
I don't remember though.
I can't remember either, dude.
Yeah,
the other. I think. Listen, I think that Dallas has not played the offensive line like the Eagles. I think Parsons is very good. DeMarcus Lawrence, I mean, for a guy talking shit, doesn't he get pretty much shut down every time he plays Lane Johnson?
He's only playing the left side.
He's only had 1 sack against like Lane ever. So
yeah, and like I said, if you need max protection too, like Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell are very good. I'm picking up blitzes. I think they're really, really good. So I mean, if you have to, if Micah Parsons getting back there, they might have to give Jalen a little bit of extra protection just in case. But we'll see. See what happens.
I've been listening to Cowboy fans all weekend. It's everything is about last year, and it's like, well, how are the Eagles going to throw on us? How are they going to throw? Like, dude. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith are no slouches. And they really think Hurts can't throw the ball. They think he's Team Tebow. They think it's the same team as last. Like, I think they're in for such a big surprise. And I think the Eagles are going to come out like fired up. I think Dallas ain't going to know what hit them early in this game.
Yeah, I think they're going to be pretty surprised. If you guys have not, there are 496 in the chat right now. Appreciate everybody joining. Yeah, definitely join the Philly Shakedown podcast. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Like the stream if you guys haven't. Link is in the description below for my co-host of the Philly Shakedown podcast, Philly 500. Subscribe to him. We cover the Eagles every single day. We do about 2 streams. It depends on, obviously it's a late game tomorrow, so we're both going to be streaming the game on both of our channels, and then we're going to be coming together on both channels tomorrow night. To come down to, obviously we're going into the bye week after this game Sunday, so we'll have a couple streams for you guys tomorrow.
I'm gonna be outside at 2 a.m. smoking cigars, waking up all the neighbors, because we're winning, baby. We're winning.
You put just so people can click on it, so it's easy. I got Philly 500's link right here in the live chat, so you guys just click on that and subscribe to it.
Like I said, I just think that I just don't know if Dallas falls behind. Like, I feel like they're going too early. I don't believe that they can come back. I don't believe that Cooper Rush can bring them back. I mean, I think if the Eagles stop the run, I think they're done. I think that's checkmate for the Dallas offense, because I think they're going to have to run the ball. They're going to have to keep the Eagles offense off the field. I also think that for the Eagles offensively, I think that Hurts is going to give them problems with his feet. I think that the Eagles are going to be able to throw the ball on Dallas. And I also think the Eagles are going to run the ball on Dallas. Wherever Parsons is, run at him. Dallas gives up like 5 yards a carry. So you can run on him, wear him down. And I wouldn't be surprised early first possession that, you get like, let's say the Eagles started their own 25. I wouldn't be surprised. The Eagles get a first down or two, and then you take your shot to Quez, and you're going to get the big play.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I feel like this is set up like the Minnesota game. That's how I feel about this game.
Yeah. And obviously to see if what they're doing at this running back spot as well with Trey Sermon, and like if they're going to, I mean, they're barely using Boston Scott. They're barely using Trey Sermon. I mean, really it's Gainwell and Miles Sanders. That's really all we have. That's really all we're using in the backfield as of right now. So if these other guys are getting opportunities, I don't know. I think with Boston Scott, you can use them on a lot of different things. Like, I think there's so much more you could do with him. They just don't do it. That's what kind of been ever since he left the Saints. That's kind of what we've been saying every day since that day. You know what I mean?
That is my biggest fear about this game. That you have a close game fourth quarter, and Dallas, I believe, has much better special teams than us. They do. I think Dallas, if they could get like a special teams touchdown, if they could get a touchdown from their defense. I mean, did their defense score points last week versus the Rams? So I feel like they got to find a way to get extra possessions and put themselves in position to score, because I don't think their offense can keep up with our offense. I just don't.
Yeah, I get it. All right, we're a little behind, so let's get through these real quick. Skeletor70 with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, thank you for the stream, gentlemen. Could we use D-Jack to run back kickoffs and punts? Go Birds, go Phils.
Yeah. That was I did a video on the whole D-Jax thing, and I have no interest in bringing Deshaun Jackson back as a fifth receiver, but I have an interest in bringing him back as a punt returner. If he's willing to come back, and I don't know that he would be, and be my punt returner, I would do it. Because I think he could still do returns, but I don't need him to be my third, fourth receiver. But we desperately need a returner. Desperately.
Could this be another, he's using the Eagles as leverage, or is he because he's done this crap before, and obviously the Eagles are, why not just go to my former team and say, hey, that's a destination I want to go to because they're undefeated. Why wouldn't he want to come here right now and be a part of this?
Oh, of course he would. He would, I don't want to replace any of these young guys with Deshaun Jackson, but I just think, man, our punt return game scares me so much.
It's bad.
And I know Deshaun's older and he may wind up getting hurt, but I think they got to do something at return game. If he's willing to come and be the primary returner, I would take a chance.
Yeah, I'd rather have Covey be on the kick returns than the punt returns, because I know on kick returns he'll have some space. I'm afraid he's going to muff one. And it's gonna.
That's what I'm afraid of.
We're waiting for that loss where it's gonna come to special teams and he is gonna blow the game. Like, that's
did he muff one? Yeah, he muff one last week.
I think he did. Yeah, that's two times already.
That was 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And the thing is I actually thought he did better returning last week. I think he'll get better. I think he's got some talent. I just think it's too much too quick.
Yeah,
what I mean? Now you're talking about Sunday Night Football versus Dallas. if this game's in the fourth quarter, let's say 4 minutes left, Eagles up 4, up 7, and they're punting, I'm going to be a nervous wreck.
Yeah, I don't know. We got a super chat from AO RGR Philly fan. Thank you so much for the super chat. It says Jalen about to be a man on fire, predicting 4 passing touchdowns to sit up the hater. 3 to AJ. 3.
I love it. I think now is AJ Brown, to me, like, I think he's going to have a monster game. He's going to have the monster game more. But I heard that Diggs will not be covering him. That Diggs does not switch sides. So if Diggs is on Devontae Smith, they're really in trouble, because I think AJ Brown had 3 catches last week. He's going to go off. I think this is a big AJ Brown game. I do.
There's definitely a mismatch there. There's no doubt about it. I'm not worried about Diggs. There's way too much you have to defend with this off. There's just too much to defend.
I'm not worried about Diggs. So
the only way this messes up with these receivers and these matchups is if they get constant pressure on the Eagles. Like if Hurts has no time to throw, that's really the only reason I can think of right now.
And he can't break containment. He can't get free. That would be it. But I think that Dallas will get some pressure. I think they'll at times do it. Not a lot, but they'll get some. But the problem and the frustrating part for them is going to be that he's going to be able to get free with his legs. They haven't played a mobile quarterback, and I don't want to hear Daniel Jones is more mobile than Jalen Hurts. People were actually trying to tell me this week.
Yeah.
I hope Jalen Hurts is. I hope he wrote down what Carson said. If we stop the run game, we win. That what he's saying is Jalen Hurts can't beat us.
I want to hear your take on this real fast. What do you think about when fans say that Jalen Hurts doesn't have enough passing touchdowns, where they're doing QB sneaks way too much in the end zone? What's your take on all that?
I think it's way overrated. Listen, you had, I think there were 2 or 3 times last week they were at the 1 yard line, half yard line. Why do you need to pass there? Just quarterback sneak it. The guy squats, like 600 pounds? He's strong. You can't stop Jalen Hurts on a 4th and 1, 4th and a half yard. So to me, I have no problem with the quarterback sneak there. I think that the touchdown passing thing is so overrated right now. Here's the other thing. I mean, we're always at 1st and goal at the 1. It's always that way. If you can run it in. But people forget this is a team that has only really played the first half of football games really well, and then they disappear second. Imagine when they put six, or 60 minutes together. They haven't even done it yet, and they're putting up and they're racking up crazy amount of yards in the first half. I think it's overblown. I don't care about the touchdown pass ratio thing. We're not trying to break touchdown records. If you have 1st and goal at the 1 or a half yard, why do I need to throw the ball? Just run it. Yeah. Seattle would have won another Super Bowl if they would have ran it.
Right. And I get it. And it's a part of it is you're using Jalen Hurts to his strength. It's worked. So why are you going to be? Look what Carson Wentz did against the Titans he threw 3 times and he messed. They blew the game. You know what I mean? Like,
there's no need.
There's no need to throw that much.
No, you got to pick your spots. I have no problem with because I don't think it's Jalen Hurts can't throw touchdown passes because he hasn't been good. It's just the situations that dictate when to throw. I mean, we're getting 1st and goal inside the 5 a lot of times. I bet you it's up there probably in the league. So it just makes sense. I'm not worried. I think he might throw 3 touchdown passes tomorrow. You know what? He is. I think he's going to throw 3 touchdowns tomorrow. There you go.
Yeah, true.
So that'll end that.
We got a super chat from South. Thank you so much, man. He says, good evening, guys. Been a long week, but we finally here. Less than 24 hours. Let's go.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm getting fired up.
We're ready. We got QJ. Yeah. Guess who it is? Guess who's in the building? We got Nate Gary in the building. Gary.
Yeah, for those that don't know, KJ Smith is Nate Gary. So he is here.
He says, I know who would make this team perfect. Nate Gary.
See, he's trying to promote himself. We don't need Nate Gary. Nate Gary, you keep doing what you're doing. Who's he play for? Oh, yeah. Nobody.
We got Aldi Banks with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. I didn't say anything, but thank you very much, man. Appreciate it so much.
Yep.
We got Trevor Primer with the super chat. Did not say anything, but thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you so much. Ray Brinson with the super chat.
Shout out to you, man.
Go on, man. So are the Eagles playing with talent or they have good chemistry to win? I think it's both.
I think they got both. Yeah, I think they got both. I think that the chemistry has been really good, and I think they've got a lot of talent. Yeah. I really believe that last week was a letdown game, but they survived it. But I really feel like they did have a letdown, you know?
I think part of it, too, is that the Eagles aren't taking this game lightly, but they're not making the game bigger than it is. Like, I think the fans are making it. We always make the game bigger than it is, obviously, because it's a rivalry. But I think the Eagles are treating this game as if Dallas is just in our way, and we just have to be 1-0 this week. I don't think they're because the emotions get too much into it, and I think that's a problem too. So I don't know what you think. How the Eagles? Do you think the Eagles try to make this game bigger than what it is, or do you think they're just so focused right now?
No, I don't think they are, but I mean, you can't help but get pumped up for this game. I mean, this is Sunday Night Football, 5-0 versus 4-1, and the team coming in is kind of talked some shit this week. So I just think it's set up perfectly, you know. Yeah.
We got your chat from Joseph Dees. Thank you so much, man. So this is going to be Hurts' breakout game.
Yeah. I kind of feel like when the Eagles win tomorrow, people are not going to be able to say, well, you haven't beat anybody, you haven't done this, you haven't, like, all that stuff is bullcrap. And I think tomorrow shuts everybody up.
No, that's what I totally agree. I think they're taking us lightly. These teams haven't played yet, and we're gonna find out tomorrow night.
Well, I mean, you look at who's Dallas really played. Like defensively, like we keep hearing how great they are. Like you would think this is the 85 Bears or the 91 Eagles or something like that. I mean, they played what? They played the Giants, not great offense. What do they have? Cincinnati they couldn't protect. The Rams are a mess. And who else did they beat? Washington. I think Washington was like the highest ranked offense that they played. So this is a completely different level.
Are they really going? Are they really on a high right now because they beat two deep Super Bowl hangovers right now? Is that why it's hyped up that much?
Yeah, the fans think that they're beating the Super Bowl teams from last year. They're still the Super Bowl teams. And then it's funny because they just dismiss the Vikings. Now, I'm not saying the Vikings are the greatest team ever, but they're still a 4-1 team. That's a legit playoff team right now. No?
Yeah,
could be legit division winner.
I don't put too much into first games of the seasons because they're always toss-up games, and because that the Lions came back 35 points, our defense is horrible. No, our defense was horrible because we took our foot off the gas. We could have three, at least I would say 4, but I would say 3 out of the 5 games we've played so far, the Eagles could have scored over 40 points. How many points have we left off the board this year already on mistakes or like either one penalty, drive killers? Right. Jalen Hurts tripping on himself, even in the rain game, like stuff like that. Like the Eagles could have done so much more in these games, but there is a plan in the second half with Shane Steichen with this offense and trying to just run basic plays to keep, time of possession and get time off the clock. Okay. And then Jonathan Gannon is playing his prevent, get those tackles inside, don't give up the big play and running the timeout. Like it makes me nervous that they're doing this every week and to the point where I don't want this to bite us in the ass because I feel like it's going to,
I agree. I agree. I don't want it to either, but I just think that with this offense and this quarterback, I don't know that it will. I hope that I got a feeling that they're going to be hitting on all cylinders, man. I am feeling good about this game.
Oh, 100%.
I would just have a rule. No taking your foot off the gas until there's 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That's it. No, I know they won't, but I would. That's what I would do. So it's 65-3, third quarter. Done. Keep going. Play action. Bomb.
We got a super chat from Fat Folder 93. Thank you so much, man. It says going to be wearing Batman suit at the game tomorrow.
Very cool. Very cool.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Those stores are probably like, why is our Batman mask sold? Why are these masks selling so much? Probably don't even know why they're selling so much. Just kind of crazy.
Dude, I have a feeling Reddick is going to have 2.5 sacks tomorrow and force a fumble. And I also think this could be the Jordan Davis make your mark game. You know, I watch out for him too.
He's getting better every single week. He's playing so well.
He is. He's starting to get more conditioned, and he's getting better. I'm very happy where Jordan Davis is right now with the Eagles, you know.
Oh, we got Big Z with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. It says Jalen Hurts MVP game. It might be a big game. That
would be awesome. Yeah. Well, I mean, I if I'm Jalen Hurts and I'm watching what Micah Parsons just said today, I'm going after these guys.
Run it down their throats, and even with Jalen Hurts, got to win with his arm, and I think he could do it. I got no doubt about it.
Yep.
We got James West with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. It says, "We them boys, Eagles ain't making noise.
You them boys, we them men. You be them boys, we them men."
Exactly.
That's what I always say. I think it's a tough. I mean, in all honesty, I think it's a tough spot for Dallas. Now, it's a division rival, so you got a shot. But, I mean, I think the Eagles coming off kind of a letdown game, Sunday Night Football before the bye. I just think a lot of things are working against Dallas, you know?
Yeah, Dallas loses. If they lose this game, they're down 2 games, and the Eagles kind of control their own destiny. You have a bye week. God knows what they could do during this bye week because, you know, when you think it's going to be like, oh, it's going to be a relaxing week, you never know what Howie Roseman is doing behind the phones and what's going on there. So
yeah, and that's a time. It's a good time to pull trade because you get the extra week to prepare. You know.
Yeah, totally true. We got Trevor Premer with the super chat. Thank you so much. His Quez has been quiet, due for one set, the tone deep first play like we did Washington with Vic. There's going to be games like this though where guys are just not going to get their targets. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, I thought, you know, I thought that the Eagles. I thought they could have been a little more aggressive going downfield last week, you know, especially in that stadium. There were so many wide receiver screens and stuff. I thought they overdid it. You know, the game before the Jacksonville game was really hard. I mean, how are you going to throw? It wasn't really the type of game to do that. So I think this sets up Quez for tomorrow. I think Quez is going to have a big play in this game. I
totally agree. He's our legit deep threat, man. Like when he has his games, he will get his moments this year. He has had his moments already. He will get more moments like that. Trust me.
Now last week Devontae had 10 catches, and AJ Brown had 3. I think that this is an AJ Brown week. I think he's going to get a lot of work this week.
QJ Smith for the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, according to Cowboys fans, their defense is better than the 85 Bears and the 2000 Ravens, but the best offense they have played is the Commanders.
I know. It's true. They think they're that good. You know, and they've only allowed like 13 points a game. I think as long as the Eagles just get to 21 points and you win the game. You know, man, my eyes are just killing me. I don't know what's going on.
You good?
They're burning. You know, I don't know.
Slap some water against your face.
Yeah, I think it's just the fire inside ready for this game. It's burning my eyes out.
We got a super chat from South. Thank you so much, man. He says, 2 things I would like to stop hearing is that Hurts needs to prove himself still and that we haven't played anybody. My opinion, the only team I see as challenge is the Bills. I hope this shuts. Yeah, I totally get it, dude.
I agree. I mean, who's on the schedule that the Eagles are going to play that they could beat, that somebody's going to be like, okay, you beat a real team? There's literally nobody on the schedule.
It might not happen until the playoffs.
Yeah, the NFC conference is not that good. In all seriousness, if you get Dak Prescott back healthy, the Dallas and the Eagles may be the best 2 teams in the whole conference. I think the Eagles are better than the Rams. I think they're better than the Buccaneers. And I think they're better than Green Bay. So we're going to hear that all year. But the truth is, we're only hearing they haven't played anybody because we're better than everybody. You know? That's why.
Yeah, totally agree. We got a super chat from LP. Thank you so much, man. He says, I know it's all about the birds right now, but let's give some love to the Fightin' Phils, man.
Yes,
what a game. What a series, bro.
I had my Phils hat on earlier today. I was watching the Fightin' Phils. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be great. And hopefully, they won't have games on at 10 o'clock in the morning for me. I was like wanting to watch the games or maybe even stream. And it was like 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I'm like, why are these games starting so early? So maybe now that there'll be prime time, I'll actually be able to sit there and stream it. But yeah. Phillies are going to World Series.
It looks like it. It definitely looks like it. We have 574 in the chat right now. Thank you for supporting the Philly Shakedown podcast. Eagles, Cowboys tomorrow night. Important, probably the most important game of the year right now. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Like the stream if you guys haven't. If you guys have not subscribed to Philly 500, his link is in the description and it's in the live chat as of right now. So putting it in. So definitely pause. Didn't mean to say it like that. But yeah. His link is in the description as well. So definitely support both channels. We will be streaming separately on both channels this game tomorrow night, and then we will be coming together Sunday night on both channels. I gotta pause again.
Yes.
Maybe you should say it next time because I always set myself
Yes,
up.
We're coming together in unity.
In unity.
Pause. Actually, I got some shepherd pies for my OnlyFans account in honor of beating Dallas. We're going to be doing some squat cobblers with shepherd pies. It's going to be a first.
Great choice.
Yeah.
We got a super chat from Mike Krivek. Thank you so much, man. It says 42-0. Eagles win. Mark Holmes meltdown priceless.
Oh, well, at least we tried. That's what
At least we gave it our all.
Yeah. I mean, I feel good about tomorrow. I do.
I really do too. And trust me, when you don't feel good about something, like you'll feel it, but you just something about Dallas, it's just some fraudulent. I don't know what it is. Like from how they've been playing, there's just something that just doesn't match up.
Do you think that the coaches and these players remember the beatdown they got last year? Not the second one, but the like that's got to bother them, right? It has to on some level.
Yeah, I mean, I think that maybe something was said about that. There's no doubt about it. So, I mean, I think these guys are mentally getting prepared. There's no doubt. We got a super chat from Morgan Holmes. Thank you so much, man. He says, I wonder if AJ and Smith do rock, paper, scissors before every game. Who gets the most yards because they're that good? Please cast the bat symbol in the sky over the stadium that we have the crowd crazy.
That would be awesome if they did that.
They should do that.
They should definitely do that. So this year, I think AJ Brown's got 28 catches and Smith has 28. They both have 28 catches on the year. That's pretty damn good. So I just think it depends. I think that 1 week you're gonna get Devontae Smith, next week you're gonna get AJ Brown, and it's gonna rotate. I think tomorrow's AJ Brown day. I do. I think AJ Brown goes off.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even during that Cardinals game, they kind of strayed away from him a little bit. And there was times where you didn't see him on the field. I don't know what the reason for that. I guess maybe they want extra. I don't know. They were doing like 2 tie-in sets, or I mean, I don't know what they were doing and why he wasn't involved as much. But
I think a lot of it had to do with the amount of wide receiver screens they were running, because they're choosing to go to Devontae Smith, for a little man, a skinny man. I mean, he was breaking some tackles, man.
He was.
You know, I'll tell you what. On a side note, I would love to see Devontae Smith go off tomorrow, just because while Diggs is covering, just so I can stop hearing how Diggs shut him down in college. I would love to see Diggs get destroyed by him.
Oh, they were talking not just him, but Kelvin Joseph as well, because Kelvin Joseph, they said they shut him down in college, but I think he still gave up $150 or whatever it was with 2 touchdowns, so he didn't get shut down at all. So,
$1,000 for tomorrow.
We got a super chat from ARGR, Philly fan. It says, no deja vu of last year. Hurts is the equalizer, true American gangster.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
We got a super chat from Iron Mizzle. What's going on, Mizzle? He says, hit like Dallas established run right at 11's neck. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I like the idea. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, if the Eagles run the ball well tomorrow, Dallas, they got no shot. They have no shot. And we got to stop the run too, though. Fat boy Zeke, we gotta shut him down.
Yeah, because obviously the Eagles have been they've been okay against the run. Like they've had their moments, and I totally get it. Which has come to this super chat from RGR Philly fans. Is Zeke going to get fed right to Davis?
I know Davis has been so good against the run. When I play this game out in my head, I think Dallas has to basically, their defense has to hold the Eagles to under 20 points. And they need at least 3 turnovers. They're going to need turnovers. So if the Eagles lose this game, they're going to have to play really bad. Really bad.
Yeah, that's true. Cole's Cowboys. What is going on with the super chat, man? Thank you so much. He says, why are y'all capping? Y'all know y'all are scared. Of what?
I don't know. I don't know what. I think if Dak was playing, I think it would be a closer game. But I'm not big on Cooper Rush, or should I say Cooper Flush after tomorrow.
Yeah. We gotta strike fear into their hearts tomorrow night. That's definite. Let me see here. I don't know if I'm behind or not.
No excuses, people. Hey, there's no excuses.
No,
I have no excuses. If Dallas beats us, let's just talk for a second about Dallas beating. Let's say Dallas goes in and wins, right? Then
True. All
of a sudden they become first place. They have tiebreaker on us. They would actually be 3-0 in the division. And we would be 5-1 on a bye week, which is really good. But you still got to play them again. So it's a long season, But yeah, I think the Eagles will be fine.
Got to win these games. These division games are very important. Got to get them done.
Yeah.
We got Flock and Eagle says, is there any concerns with Steichen's game plan this week?
I'm more concerned about Cannon's game plan, because I feel like if there was ever a week to kind of like let your defense go off, it's this week. I don't sweat Dallas's passing game at all. I'm not scared of it. Run game, I think we can shut down. Put Jordan Davis in there. That'll take care of the run. I think this is where you got to tee off. Cooper Rush should have three turnovers more. That's how I feel.
Do you think since Josiah Scott's been in and since Avonte Max has been out, do you think they've been going into prevent a little? Maybe they've been going into it maybe a little bit too early. Maybe they're just with Maddox being out. Do you think that kind of changed the game plan since he's been out a little bit?
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's hard to know, because that Jacksonville game the weather was so bad, right? And then last week, I felt like it was more. They were so worried about Kyler Murray's running ability that it changed things, But we'll see. We'll see with Avonte Maddox if it changes.
Yeah, that is true. Let's see here. You good, dude?
Yeah, my eyes are just burning. Like, it's like I feel like remember Better Call Saul, where they go to the vet guy to make the eyes pupil.
Oh yeah,
that's how I feel. Like it just started burning. I'm like, who's is Joey Shake's stalker trying to get to me to get to Joey? What is going on here?
We got through chat from Savvy B. He says the Cowboys haven't been relevant since Tupac still was alive and Christy Alley was still hot. Eagles going 6-0.
Before Christy Alley ate Christy Alley. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah,
such an important game. Such a hype throughout this game for tomorrow night. I mean, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people are saying the Bills-Chiefs game is going to be a bigger game, but I don't think so.
Bills
still going to be a great game.
It's a great game.
Yeah,
it's a great. What time is that game on? That's not. See, that should be like Sunday night or Monday night. That if that was on Monday night, that would be great. Everybody's saying that game because of course, the playoff game last year, but this is a division rivalry, you know?
Yeah.
I think this is a bigger game.
We got Nathan Wolders. Thank you so much, man. He says 500 Joey. Who's your breakout players for both sides?
Breakout player both sides. I'm going to say Jordan Davis on defense. And I mean, I don't know if anybody could be a breakout player. I think AJ Brown is going to have a big night tomorrow on offense.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think definitely. I think Devontae Smith has a big game. I think, and obviously Hassan Reddick, I think is going to be a monster.
Yeah, I got a feeling Hassan Reddick's going to go off tomorrow. I do too.
There'll be a lot of players going off tomorrow night. Like no,
dude, I hope it's like 38-3. Like I just want to blow out. Like I want it quiet.
Statement. You're right. Right.
You know.
Totally agree. Totally agree with that. We got a serve chat for Backyard Birds podcast. Thank you so much, man. He says, this is the game Dallas fans realize how far behind the Eagles they really are.
Yeah, it could be. You know, like I said, I think this is a tough spot for Dallas. It's just a tough spot for them, you know.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's look, we're going to put this thing to bed after this game tomorrow night, but the Eagles go into a bye week, whether it's a win or a loss. Both teams are still going to be alive regardless of what this is. This is a statement game. And we see what the Eagles do for the trade deadline. We'll go through all that stuff. But for both schedules, Cowboys, Eagles schedules going forward, they're very easy schedules. They're winnable schedules. Both schedules are, you know, so the Eagles win this game today. They're 2 games behind. Or if they lose, it could come down to the wire. It could just come down to, you know, who loses, you know, the most game, who comes first to losing. So
yeah. No, I am sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But it's October. It's October, right? The Eagles and Dallas are still going to play again in Dallas later this year. So even if, let's say, the Eagles were to lose, you still got to play them again. And if Dallas is to lose, they still got to play the Eagles again. But here's the thing that I keep thinking about with this is when the Eagles go 6-0 and then they get a bye week, right? They're 6-0. They come back and they play Pittsburgh and Philly. They're not going to lose that game. That's 7-0. And then I think they got Houston on Thursday night, 8-0. Then they got Washington on Monday Night Football, I believe it is, 9-0. Then they got the Colts 10-0. So I think that the Eagles are going to get to 10-0. And if you're 10-0, you have a chance for the number 1 seed. Now, I'm definitely getting ahead of myself. But, you know, I think the Eagles are in a good situation. And even if Dallas was to win, I think the Eagles are still in a good situation. You know,
you're still looking at the Steelers. You're looking at the Titans. You're looking at the Colts. Yeah, you still got 2 games for the Giants. You still got Carson Wentz is hurt now with a broken finger. On top of going into that game hurt, on top, Mr. Hero, Mr. I gotta play.
Right.
Same old Carson Wentz going to a game injured and gets more injured. So now he might be. It might actually make them better. It might actually
that could be a problem. That could be a problem. And he's seeing a specialist, right? In LA. So that means that Carson Wentz is probably going to be either playing really hurt or he's going to get he's going to be out for a while.
He's trying to find a way to play.
Carson. He hasn't changed at all.
No, he's trying to find a way to play. If he's going to a specialist, he's trying to see what they could do where he could get as much comfort as possible with the throwing hand, because that's where he broke his finger. Exactly. So we got super chat from Chris Day. What's going on? It says, I don't want to take this game lightly. I really want to win.
Yeah, don't take it lightly. I don't mean to be taking it lightly either. But I just, the way I see it play, the feel I get for it is I really think that not having Dak hasn't hurt Dallas yet, but I think it catches up with him tomorrow.
Yeah. Got Sean Gunn says, Shakes, I wish Whack Trash God was playing so it won't be an excuse.
Yeah, I know. That's true. It's going to be an excuse, and it's actually a fair excuse, but it will be an excuse.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
but the Eagles would beat them anyways. You know? But what I want is, like, I want humiliation. I want that defense to be horrible for Dallas tomorrow. Like struggle, give up the big plays. I just want to sit back at like 38-3, laughing.
Be comfortable. It's nice to have a comfortable game with a comfortable lead.
I know. Here's how I know. I know that the Eagles, like if I wasn't watching the game and all I could look at was my subscriber count, when Dallas starts to lose, I would see it go down because every time Cowboys lose, I lose subscribers that are Cowboy fans. Every time.
Oh, that's what happens.
They leave because they don't want to hear it, So they run and hide. Then they come back like a week later. They'll beat somebody and they'll come back. Look at Dallas, like they stink.
Let's see. Formerly known as JoJo MC, Parduke says Eagles will need to hold Dallas under 20. No turnovers or special teams gaffes.
I think the opposite. I think Dallas has to hold the Eagles to under 20 because I think the Eagles can score points in Dallas. So I think a high scoring game favors the Eagles more, but I don't think Dallas. I don't think they can score. I don't think they could score 20 on us, and nobody scored 20 on them. But I think the Eagles' offense is much better than they've played.
Yeah. I want to go into the trade deadline real fast. Definitely a lot to talk about here with some players. You're starting to see rumors of players becoming available. I've heard so far. We hear about the Carolina Panthers after Matt Rule, the head coach, was fired. There is a lot of, that there's a lot of speculation now. It probably is true that they're kind of cleaning house right now with Christian McCaffrey. And obviously Brian Burns is a big one that now the Eagles are definitely linked to get some more defensive line help. After Barnett is out with the ACL, Patrick Johnson ended up getting hurt, kind of taking snaps from him. Him is just not enough. We've heard Cam Akers has asked for a trade, I think, from the Rams. It looks like
that's what I heard.
He might be available on top of, could the Eagles actually bring in a running back? So there's definitely a lot of things that they could do here. I heard Nelson Aguilar might get traded.
No. Did you see he's already dropped some big balls this year? No, I don't want anything to do with him. No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know what's going on with my camera's messing up. I'm just gonna leave it like this. Yeah, so I'm not. I was just saying, I wouldn't try to link it, or I wouldn't try to link that or anything like that.
Right.
But what do you? I mean, the Brian. What is the most intriguing? The most intriguing
Brian
candidate?
Burns one.
Yeah,
the Brian Burns one, because that's not just like a rent a player for a year. Like I think that's somebody that you would build upon, right? The one I think that I'm not interested in is Christian McCaffrey. I don't. What do I need him for? He gets hurt a lot. He's a lot of money. I would be more intrigued with Akers than him.
Yeah, true. Yeah, are the Eagles still trying to go after a running? I don't even think anymore. Maybe it's just not the move they want.
I don't know that they are either because they don't use what's his face. What I'm looking at the standings, right? Who are these teams that are losing, are already 1-4 or whatever? Those are the teams we got to keep an eye on, because those are the teams that may want to move somebody that will work. There is no doubt in my mind that the Philadelphia Eagles of 5-0 are not going to be buyers at the trade deadline. They're going to be. And if you go back to 2017, when did they trade for Jai? It was I think it was the day of the trade deadline, but it happened to also be our bye week. The time to do it is over the bye week. So I think the Eagles are going to make a move. I do.
Yeah. We always say, like, it always happens. I swear this is the time where Howie's going to have a little bit more time on his hands to get something done, since the Eagles are off for the whole week. So, and I think with Dillard could be a candidate because he's healthy and they put him on the active roster immediately. So, I don't know what they have to do with him. Are they going to try to build his trade value or something with him, if that's what they're going to do, to at least, because I think as of right now, I think we talked about this last week. I think Driscoll definitely has more value because he could play 3 positions, or maybe even 4. I think he could play 3.
Yeah.
So I think that's a definite thing that can happen.
Yeah. So I'm trying to look here are the teams you got to watch, like Detroit Lions, Carolina's 1-4, Chicago, not Washington, but because they won't trade with us, but Pittsburgh. Is there anybody on the Steelers that they would look to move? Raiders, Texans, like there are going to be more players that shake free. We just have to take advantage of it. I have no doubt in my mind how is going to look to move.
We literally have to look at, for running backs, we literally have to look at every team and check the contracts for all the running backs. We have to look at a contract that's on the last year of their deal, because that's how he likes going after those guys that have one more year left on their deal. And this way they can make that decision whether they want to extend the player or not. Because I think even with the Brian Burns thing, I think it's going to make a lot of sense. Because really, if we take re-signing players, if Hargrave is going to get – so as of right now, without extensions, Hargrave's gone, Cox is gone. Barnett, they should just let go of, because at this point he's going to be rehabbing next year, and are we really going to be waiting for the last year of his deal and just trade him or do something with him? I don't know. Right. And Graham, depending on if he wants to come back, if he doesn't want to leave, and I don't know what you think of the situation with that defensive line going into next year, but I mean, obviously with Graham, he might come back, but
I think defensive line, especially defensive end, is the move. Like, I think that if they don't need a quarterback in the draft, I think one of those first two picks is probably a defensive end. So if you could get another guy to come in and play defensive end, I think you do it. I mean, I try to think about, like, what position do you think right now the Eagles need to upgrade? Like, what could they upgrade? What position?
Edge.
Yeah, I mean, and for the short term, it's more of a rotational depth piece. But if you get a young guy that could be around for a while, that's great too. The big hole for me, and I would try to make a move, is special teams. You need a returner. Is there anybody like a special, like a really good returner, somebody that could be, traded? That's what I want to know.
Kadarius Toney's on the trade block as well. They're trying to get – what a waste that was. Like, what was that experiment with him?
I don't know, but he played one great game. He looked fabulous against Dallas, and then that's it. He doesn't play. To me, if the New York Giants are trying to get rid of him this early so bad, I wouldn't touch him. I wouldn't touch him,
No, I mean, look, if he flat out gets released, or if he's going to become a free agent, he might be an intriguing option for special teams, maybe, since we need a lot of help there. I'm the last thing I'm thinking about.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just reading. No, Greg Miller said Jeremy Chin. That would be interesting. So I like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I think he just needs time, but that could be an interesting position. I feel like returner is probably the biggest area of need on this team right now. So would somebody shake free? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We got super chat from C. Coster. He says, going to the Eagles Commanders Monday night game place is going to be wild. That's what, November 13th, I think, that game, the last game against Washington. The Monday night game against Washington.
Yeah, something like that. It looks like Carson may not even play at that point,
Might be just benched. I don't know. At this point, even that Bears Commanders game was really ugly. That was a ugly game to watch. I don't know if that was worse than the Denver game, but it was pretty bad. Yeah,
it's the whole trade deadline thing is interesting, because I do think they'll make a move. I don't know where, but it's going to be interesting.
So really, other than that, guys, like, we're getting ready for tomorrow, Sunday night, Eagles Cowboys at the Link. It's going to be crazy. We're going to get a lot of answers going into this game. After this game, we're going to find out a lot about this team, what they're made of, and I'm glad that this game is in Philadelphia. I'm glad we're not going to Dallas as we usually do first on the schedule.
First time, yeah. But we got Dallas on Christmas Eve.
I hate it.
Oh man, this is such an interesting game tomorrow. I personally believed that the Cowboys are not as good as everybody's acting like they are. I could be wrong, and they're going to have a chance to prove. Hey, look, if I'm wrong, I'll eat crow. I'll say, yeah, they're better than I thought. But I don't feel like – I feel like it's a good matchup for us. I do.
Yeah, I do too. I think when it comes to Dallas's corners against our receivers, I think there's plenty of mismatches, and I think you need to challenge them and run the football. Stop the, don't get screen happy. Use these receivers mid-tier. Not a lot of we're waiting on those mid-tier throws, middle of the field, which we didn't see last week. They stayed away from the middle of the field. I don't know why they did that.
I don't know. It was open. It was why it was open. Hey, do you think somebody said tight end? Do you think they would trade for that tight end from Miami if he became available? Gesicki?
That'd be a good one.
Yeah,
why are they getting rid of him?
We need another tight end.
I
think it's contract related. I think he wants a deal. I think he's up for a new deal.
So so what? They're going to get rid of him early because what is Tua going to be out a lot more weeks? There's no comeback.
No, I just think that there was talks about him getting traded before the season started over contract. So I don't know if he's somebody they would go after. I'm just trying to think where the Eagles would go at the trade deadline, because I know that they're going to do something. Question is, will it be just a depth rotational piece? Probably, most likely, it would be defensive end. But I wouldn't mind a returner.
Right. No,
Deontay Hardy from the Saints.
Yeah,
for returner. There's talk about him. Yeah, we just need the Saints to keep losing.
Take advantage of it. We've done so much to the Saints. We've done so much to them. It's
exactly
Howie Roseman has single-handedly murdered them.
Gesicki's a bad blocker. Yeah, but we're talking about a tight end too. I kind of like Calcaterra. I do. I'd like to see him play more.
Yeah, he needs more of a chance. So we got that little glimpse during that. What was it? That was the Washington game, right? When he ran that out of the second half, he ran that ball on the left side. Yeah, and Stahl is more of a blocking tight end. Like, he's not a receiver. So we use these tight ends they're all different. Some are good blocking, some are better receiver. It just depends. But I still think we're still looking. You got Tyree Jackson on the IR right now. I mean, you even going to next year. I mean, there should be a really big competition for that number 2 tight end spot.
Yep.
Going into next year, that could block and help in the receiving game to give Dallas Goedert a little bit of a break. God forbid anything happens. So
I want to address one thing real quick.
Okay.
This dude, Joshua Graham, he said, I watch you freaking out again 500 over the Jalen Hurts pick today. Feels good to be wrong, huh? So people who watched that reaction to Jalen Hurts when he picked him, they never listened to the video. In the video, I say, I have nothing against Jalen Hurts. I'm sure he's going to be a great player. My issue wasn't the pick of Jalen Hurts. My issue of that pick was the strategy behind it. You had a franchise quarterback. You needed players to come in and play right away. So, to me, the idea that we're going to draft a guy to be a backup quarterback in the second round, I fundamentally disagree with that move. I still disagree with it. Now, it worked out because Jalen Hurts worked out, but I don't believe for 1 second that this was the plan, that he was going to come in. And so I don't believe that I think they lucked out into that. I don't think the strategy was good. I don't think it's something you would do. Would you go out and draft a quarterback in the second round next year to replace Jalen Hurts? I would have the same issue, So I just got to say it because people, they watch that video, but they don't listen to what I say in the video. I'm sure Jalen Hurts could be good. I have no problem with him. It's the strategy that I have a fundamental problem with.
You can't take a video from a few years ago and be like, look what you said a few years. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, this wasn't Carson Wentz was our quarterback. Jalen Hurts
we just signed him to a contract.
Right.
Yeah, right. To be a backup. You don't draft a guy to be a backup. See, the Eagles were trying to be cheap because they didn't want to spend money on a backup quarterback. They thought they were going to break. I fundamentally don't like the strategy there, and that's what I was mad at the time. That's why I started saying in the video, trade Carson then. You might as well trade him.
Right.
Because it's just like, no. So I fundamentally and don't regret that video or disagree with it. I agree with how I felt back then. It was a stupid strategy. The Eagles, it lucked out. We lucked out. What can I say? We lucked out.
Yeah, he said, Joshua says, I meant it in a good way, but we're still sitting here happy to lucky.
Oh, okay. Well, never. I don't. I take it back.
Erase.
Well, it's not just him. It's other people too. But I mean,
Yeah.
I'm glad he worked out. It looks like a genius move and all that. But I don't. I wouldn't want them to do that to Jalen Hurts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't like my reaction to when they drafted what's his face? Damn, I can't even think his name because they stink so much. What's his face? The guy that compared to Reggie White.
Derek Barnett. Yeah.
Derek Barnett. That was a reaction of hatred in that draft. Okay, totally different thing. I had no issues. I thought Jalen Hurts could be a good player coming out. I didn't know. I had no problem with him at all.
Some say he was supposed to be a 4th round pick. Some say, he should have been drafted later on. But I think till this day, I think we'll always hate that pick. Between the financials of that time, where the Eagles were at that time, where you draft a guy in the second, look, your 1st round picks on the field, your 2nd round picks on the field, your third, fourth round picks are role players, your 5th, 6th, 7th are guys that are either hit or miss. So that's what you're getting out of a draft. So at that moment, at that time where we were with our team, it was horrible. Now we say, oh, it's not that bad, but I think we'll always hate. At that time, that pick was a bad pick.
I don't. If the strategy was bad,
yes.
You're trying to save money instead of helping the quarterback. I just think they let luck into it. And Willie Vassar's right. He said 500. You did say to let the quarterbacks compete. Yeah, because at that point you've got a quarterback that has potential. You might as well let them compete and bring out the best in both of them. But my issue was never with Jalen Hurts. It was always with the strategy. Yeah, and I know that he didn't mean that, but it's weird because all of a sudden that video is starting to get views, and it's like I was like, the other day it was like got 1,000 views during the day. Usually it's like 2 or 3.
I think how he got infatuated with, well, we had a starting quarterback that went down. Nick Foles came in, won the Super Bowl. So let's try to get 2 premier quarterbacks on this roster that, God forbid, something happens to Wentz, Hurts can take over and win us some games. And not with obviously you have him for 4 years, but, then you're paying, 2nd round picks don't get paid a lot of money, but still that's another guy that could be on the field at another position helping out your football team as an immediate impact. Right. And that wasn't the case.
Right. And that caused the whole riff with Carson and Howie even more and all that stuff. But, Jalen Hurts turned out to be a good player. So, Howie looks like a genius now for doing it. And you got to get – I can't say anything about it, but I think they lucked into it because Foles went and we lost him for big money. We were paying these backup quarterbacks like $10 million a year. So I think they thought that they were going to draft a guy, let him be the backup, and have him for 3-4 years, maybe trade him and get something for him. I just thought the strategy stunk.
Yeah, I totally agree. Ayo says, with the super chat, thank you so much, man. He says, go get Yannick, and if we're looking for cheap gross, it's also off Carolina, PSU guy and cheaper than Burns.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, they could. I want a star. I want a star. I want a guy that's going to – and the thing is, these contracts are going to get nuts after this year. So there might be a little if Howie thinks this team is ready to compete, if it doesn't happen this year and next year is the year and you're giving Jalen Hurts that big contract, if he wants to take chances on restructuring a lot of contracts and think this team go all in next year and want to create this super team next year, you want to add some crazy pieces, then that's what they're going to do. And Burns, it might be a guy that now, what are you going to have to give up for Burns? That's going to be the question. It might be more than a 1st round pick. It might be maybe a 1st and a day 3 pick or something. I don't know what it's going to take. Yeah.
Now, Jolo said something interesting. Joey, do you all think the Eagles paid the wrong guy after the Super Bowl? I got to say, at the time, I didn't think they did, but looking back on it, I think they did. Yeah. I think I was wrong about Carson. That I accept that. I was definitely wrong because actually, at that 2019, after that concussion, I don't think he was ever the same. No. But they probably keep Foles. Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say.
After that Super Bowl, they could have traded Carson Wentz for a lot of picks, and the teams would have been jumping for him after that year, and they could have kept Nick Foles and could have extended him on a bigger deal. He went to Jacksonville, had the collarbone injury his first game. I mean, that was, we revived Nick Foles' career because after he went to the Rams, after he went to Kansas City, and, he almost quit. He almost retired. He almost quit, and the Eagles gave him the call, and thank God, things happen for a reason, and we revived him as a player, and I could really do this again. I could really, and they looked at, we didn't really like the way they used, Nick Foles. He was more under center in the beginning when he took over, and, they looked at a lot of past tape and the RPOs, and he was just such an artist with it. And the starting point of Carson Wentz kind of deteriorating was not only the injury that lingered from 17 to 18, on top of getting more injuries in 18, but Nick Foles winning the Super Bowl and Carson Wentz kind of starting his thing with, it should have been me, that there was some behind the scenes of getting into, there was some rumors that Darren Sproles got involved. There was a bunch of players that got involved, that Carson was complaining way too much, that he was talking about himself when the team was winning and they were getting further. There was a lot of problems going on. I definitely believe it. That definitely happened.
So you think he tried to fight Sproles? Because there were rumors that he tried to fight somebody on that team because he was saying, he was complaining about the Super Bowl. He turned out to be a weird guy, right? Everything we heard about him, really, it's just crazy. From what I've heard of people who know people with inside, right? They have said that he's a nice guy and all that, but very self-centered, and picks his group of people he likes, kind of doesn't interact with the other people. You can't be the leader of a team and do that.
But when you get paid franchise money, I don't even know why we're talking about this. But when you get paid franchise, when you get paid franchise money, you're not supposed to let the outside noise affect you. You're supposed to get this to rally this team back together, get ready for next year. But he just wanted out. That was it. Whether you're mad at the front office for trying to change or trying to handicap you or trying to RG3 you in an offense and make you an RPO quarterback, and you didn't, because we know that Carson Wentz back in the day, he was very dangerous outside the pocket and extending plays, and that's where he was dangerous. We feel like the theory for me in 500 is they made him gain weight into that 2020 season. They made him just more of a pocket guy, and between the 2000 after that 2019, after the he kind of the last month of the season, 2019, with off the road receivers, where he kind of put the team on his back, and we kind of were figuring the old Carson Wentz was back. 2020 came, and it was just a really bad. There was something wrong with Doug. There was something wrong with Carson. There was just, they weren't holding him accountable. Even Malcolm Jenkins said at I think, what was it, 2019 Super Bowl or whatever, he said that they were caressing Carson Wentz's ego. That, you see when Carson Wentz screws up, he goes to the sideline, Doug just pats him on the back, and he's sitting there by himself. There's something wrong. There's something definitely. He's trying not to show it, but it's showing.
There was. I thought that 2019, I thought that second half of the season, I thought he started to look like himself, right? And he started to move and stuff like that, and they go on a run. And then he gets that concussion, and that concussion, it just was never the same. And then he came in, he was really heavy the following year. He couldn't move, he couldn't run, and then he just not been the same since. I really believe that concussion was a big factor. But we were having problems with him already, right? We kept having multiple reports about him and players in the locker, and people wanted Foles to play or whatever. And it was a mess. It was a mess.
After he got that concussion, they actually, on 94 WIP, they actually had a woman go on the radio, a woman that was a really good athlete in high school. She was all state for 4 years in a row. She said she got there's different levels of concussions that you can get. She had the worst one to where it messes up your coordination for years. It messes up the way you think, the way you play, the way it changes the way you move. It does so much to you. When we played Carson, we had 9 sacks on him. Oh my God, was he just no pocket awareness, just It's just crazy. It's crazy to think that the Eagles got a first-round pick for him. Not just that, but Frank Reich being the only reason he has a starting job. Not just that, but being handed on a silver platter 2 really good offenses. I mean, handed, no competition, no looking over your shoulder. Like, this man saw Jalen Hurts' mentality and beating him mentally off the field single-handedly. Kicked him out of Philadelphia. Kicked him out.
It did. I agree. I mean, we got a much better quarterback than we had. It's just the truth. We're in such good shape now, man. I can't wait to see what happens. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, totally agree. We got a super chat from Greg Holmes Brown says Hurts has always been elite. Everyone is just catching up. First true freshman to start at Alabama since '84. Heisman finalist, national champion, QB1.
Yeah, I mean, he's come a long way. The one thing you can't judge with these guys is their heart, right? You don't know what somebody is made of. And Hurts, that's what I like about him most. That's what made me feel like he really needed a shot, was because all the intangibles are there. And sometimes you got to, let a guy go and work and earn it and go out there and prove, he's a guy. And he did that. And Hurts just needed the opportunity and the time, and he's getting better every week.
Yeah.
People now complain about he doesn't throw enough touchdowns. He looks so much better than what people give him credit for. Even now, I mean, Parsons saying what he said today is a shot at Jalen Hurts. But not how many people have talked about all week when we tied it up and we needed that drive in the fourth quarter to kill a bunch of time and go down, take the lead again, even though it was with a field goal. He did exactly that. 2 weeks ago, it was, he can't come back if he goes down. He comes back from 14-0 down. Everything that they say, he has done. You know what I'm saying?
I hear the cat, by the way. If that was
I know. It is. I got to move it. It wants out. Hold on.
No, you're good.
Here you go. Buddy. Go ahead.
I just we're 5-0 and I understand I'll wait till he gets back, but it's
I hear you.
We're 5-0 and people are still that's what I'm saying. And we're still look, as content creators, as we do this every day, we always have something to talk about. Okay. Everything's always not damn camera's doing that. Every time we, it's never perfect. There's always something to talk. This quarterback, look, you look at benched in Alabama, goes to Oklahoma, and just you're seeing that when it comes to adversity, this guy fights it. I don't think we've seen, even when Carson was drafted, I don't think we've really seen. We saw a guy that had a big arm. We saw a guy that had heart and a big arm. That's what we saw coming out of that draft, and we were happy to have him. But you see the true colors of these quarterbacks, of just not quarterbacks, but players that have to. Right. You're not guaranteed a spot every single year. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, remember when they would ask Carson about hey, do you think you need to do this for your game? Do you think you need to change this? And he would be like, no, I am what I am. That's it. I'm not really changing. Hurts, on the other hand, is I'm going to do whatever it takes to get better all the time. I think there's just a huge difference in that quality, and I like Hurts has been through the fire, man, and he's come out successful. I feel like with Carson, it's he probably was the best athlete in and so was Hurts in a lot of ways, but he still had to work really hard for it. I think Carson, a lot of times, especially maybe North Dakota, it was just given it to him. It was just given to him, and that's why as soon as he had somebody come in like Jalen Hurts that had some talent, he just wanted out. As soon as they benched him, he said that as soon as he got taken out of that Green Bay game,
that was it.
He knew he was going to ask for a trade.
That was it.
I mean, he just quit.
Yeah, that's the part, and not even just that. And whether that he was told not to speak to the fans or whatever the case may be, you have people buying your jersey, okay? You didn't say no humble, that PR, thank you, Don Smolinski, Howie Roseman, the Eagles. That was just so, the way he left was just so, there was no human aspect to it. And that's what really pissed me off, too, when he left. And you know what? And I look, as much as Hurts, we know he had the mentality. It was just like, can he be more of a passing quarterback? Can he get those throws? And it was a struggle. It was a young team last year, a first-year head coach. There was no veteran besides maybe Kelsey on the offense. There were no veterans offensively. This was a very new team last year. Yeah. So we knew that there was going to be mistakes on the way. But this guy ain't hunting deer, hunting buffalo, shooting birds out of the air, okay? This guy literally lived, breathed, and shit football this past offseason. Every single – now, we were looking at all these videos saying, okay, we're seeing way too many videos. We need to see this man on the field. So we got nervous because we're like, he's barely going to play preseason. They're putting a lot of pressure into these – joint practices, which we weren't a big fan of because we want to see them on game day on these preseason games. One series was not enough for us, but man, did you think that the Eagles were going to be on a hot start as soon as the season hit? Or do you think it was going to be a build?
I had them going. I thought they were going to. I had them 4-1 right now in my schedule predictions. I did have them losing to Washington, but I had them 4-1. So. I'm not totally surprised, but the way in which they've won, how many different ways that they've won, that's what's really surprised me the most.
Yeah, I think being down a couple, in a bad, we've had a weather game. We've had them being down a couple touchdowns. I mean, teams have come back and they've stayed, they've maintained staying in the lead. We've almost seen almost everything what this team is made of. This is a tough team. This is a very tough team that with a really good, culture. Nick Sirianni, I'm loving this coach every single week. He's got no filter on the field. He's just... He don't give a shit about anything, and I love it.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I mean, so far so good. Another test tomorrow. I mean, you beat Dallas, you're 6-0, and you're 2 games up on them. I mean, that's incredible. It's going to be interesting tomorrow. It really is.
And like we said, guys, like we've been too long. We've been an hour and 31 minutes. I do apologize for making.
We went off on a tangent about Carson because it's just such a fascinating discussion with the whole how everything transpired. It's just so weird,
Yeah. I mean, you take Chip Kelly in 2015 getting fired, and who would have known that the Eagles were being in the Super Bowl 2 years later? I mean, who would have?
Yeah.
Who would have known? And after Doug's first year in 2016, I thought it was going to be another 3 years. I mean, I thought it would have took like another 3. Yeah. I said 3 to 4 years before they would have done anything really. Yeah, at that point. So we talk about Carson because we gave a crap about him. We defended him for years. That's the reason why. If like now it's just like good luck, but it's
I still like him. And when he's not with Washington, I would root for him on any other team, but there's just differences that you can see loud and clear right now,
Yeah, I get it. But yeah, we're gonna end this, guy. There's 589 in the chat, still running real strong. So I know we've been ranting, raving, talking about everything. Big game tomorrow, so we could talk about this for hours.
It's just it's so much stuff. It's crazy. But man, I think tomorrow is another. Tomorrow because some people are saying, "Oh, now the question is, can Hurts beat Dallas?" Yeah, he can beat Dallas, and he's going to beat Dallas. But I think this is another great test for this team, man. It is. True.
So we will be streaming both games tomorrow on both of our channels. So definitely come by, say hello to our reactions for the game tomorrow night. And we will be back tomorrow night for the Philly Shakedown podcast right after, streaming from both channels. So make sure you give both channels a lot of love tomorrow night. And we are going to see what is going to happen. Absolutely. So any last words, anything?
We'll see you tomorrow, Dallas. We will see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm ready, dude. I'm just ready for this game. I mean, it's what the hell was that? Got to play. I think more your stalker is at the side of my house.
Up your stairs. Go up your stairs.
This Joey Shakes has a stalker. Somebody's after him, like a real legit stalker. Can't tell you who it is, but it's crazy, no doubt about it.
Yeah, he loves me too much, I guess. Yeah, but we got 563 in the chat. Subscribe to the channel if you guys definitely hit that subscribe button. If you love the Philly Shakedown podcast, like the stream if you guys have it. Go to my man Philly 500. His link is in the description below, and I'll be putting it in the live chat right now. You'll see it in the live chat. Definitely hit the link. Subscribe to his channel. We'll both be streaming tomorrow, and we'll be back together for the Philly Shakedown tomorrow. So I'm ready to go. I'm ready.
In the words of Joe Biden, I have 2 words for you. See you later.
All right. You guys have a fantastic day. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Shakes, what up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace. Thank you, guys.